Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So, as promised, I've got hold of one of the vintage Tamiya radio controlled model guidebooks from back in the day. A lot of you guys have been asking for this just so we can have a flick through it and we'll all take a trip down memory lane. Now, if you're a Tamiya fan and you don't know what the guidebooks are, where have you been? You know, these, for me, thinking back, it was obviously your trip to your model shops where you could see the built kits finish in the shelves. That little portable TV that a lot of model shops had, just looping the Tamiya promo videos, which was superb, and the Tamiya guidebooks. That's, you know, these are such a part of history on the Tamiya timeline. So this is a 1991 edition with the egress on the front cover. So if you don't know anything about the guidebooks, the very first one was in 1979. 1979. I'll put a picture of that cover up now. That had the red Lamborghini on it. And then Tamiya just continued putting these out every year, all the way through to 2004. But what I do want to say is, the guidebook style was from 79 through to, in my opinion, the last true one was in 2000. But 2001, 2, 3 and 4, although they were called guidebooks, they kind of took on the new catalogue format, of which continued after 2004. So I've had those and they're not like these. But yeah, these are absolutely superb if you've not seen them. So a massive shout out to Berry. This is not actually mine, I borrowed this. My mate Berry, who you'll probably know from the groups, he's moved to Canada now and he's got a collection of these, and I asked if I could borrow one. I've been looking to buy one, but I'm not going to sell a kidney at the prices they're at the moment. To me, these are worth £30-35 maximum in good condition. People are asking £60-70 for them. Maybe that's a new price, I don't know. I never like talking about prices on this channel, but yeah, I have my limits to what I'll pay, and I'm not going to pay that kind of money for one. So I will get a collection of these eventually, but I'll get them for the right money. So yeah, we'll do our best to get this on camera the best we can. Obviously, flicking through it's not the easiest. This is also a Japanese. This is a Japanese edition of the guidebook, but that's really not a problem, because if you're like me, it's all about the pictures and artwork in these. Although I have read them cover to cover over the years. So let's bring a camera over and see if we can get this in focus. So, as I said, this is the 1991 edition with the stunning, gorgeous egress on the front. Berry has protected this on the covers and the spine of it, which you have to do, unfortunately, with them being so old. They do show signs of age. But, I mean, just look at that artwork. These diagrams, they're absolutely superb. On the back page, we have the amazing King Cab. Probably one of the most sought after cars for Tamiya to do a re of, in my opinion. But again, just epic artwork with these exploded diagrams behind and things. And there are some mistakes on these guidebooks as well, and there's some little interesting things. Now, as I was flicking through this earlier, I found one that I'll point out as we go. So it doesn't get much more iconic than that. When you open the very first page up, always on the guidebook on the left hand side has the exploded parts picture of the car on the front. Obviously the egress again. So many people have recreated this with their own cars, and something I've never done, but I really enjoy seeing it, other guys doing it. I think it's pretty epic, to be honest. You just look at it and it's just awesome. Just out of interest, now and again I get criticised for doing the tyre writing on the cars. If you note on the tyres on here, Tamiya actually did the tyre writing, and on the main pictures within the book itself, you'll see so many cars with the tyre writing actually done. So this was actually how Tamiya intended them to be. But yeah, then we move to the second picture, and of course, probably one of the most... Well, there's two Tamiya slogans for me that are sort of joint, and obviously toys they're not, is just, we all know that. And that opening page where these three cars always changed depending which guidebook you were looking at. and the other one, what is it, number one in Tamiya, number one in modelling. I should have googled that. I can't remember what it was. Right, let's open it up again. So nothing spectacular on this page. Obviously, if it was in English, it's telling you about charging your batteries and tools and batteries required. But I always remember that picture of that gentleman there with the Tamiya bib on, which I've now got one of these bibs, which is shout out to Bart if you're watching. And obviously he's got the Porsche 959 in his hand. Then you get on to like tools required and then some of the pictures from Tamiya. And then I love this. How to, see if we can get it a bit closer. Telling you how to drive around tracks, how to go into corners and come out of corners and stuff. And telling you to set cones up, how to jump. Absolutely superb. And then you've got, look at this picture here, 2 clodbusters pulling 2 young lads on their skateboards along. You've got a lunchbox, Blackfoot and a Monster Beetle playing football, little tracks. More detail on how to corners and stuff like that. Fantastic. I always loved the old pictures. I don't know if you were like me, but I used to study them and see who had what. You know, these pictures down here when all the guys are holding the cars and stuff, and you'd go through and you'd just look to who was driving what. So I've just skipped about 3 pages. It goes on to talk about the different race classes that Tamiya have, off-road, on-road, F1, that kind of thing. And a lot of sort of technical information. But I wanted to show you this picture because these different tracks were, I believe, in just about every guidebook that I can remember. But I'm just going to zoom in on one because this thing here, look at that track layout. To me, that's in the UK for me. I'm sure of it. Obviously, it'll probably no longer exist. But I just want to be there. And I just always remember that that track in the guidebook for some reason. These ones are more what you're kind of used to. I think one of those will probably be actually Tamiya's actual test track that they have by the factory. And then we move on to setups. Now, the first 2 pages are obviously pan cars, so that's some of the 112 pan Tamiya cars and obviously the F1s, telling you how to set up your servos, toe in, toe out, camber, even suspension and your servo horns and direct drive, gluing the tyres, all that good stuff. Again, just skipped a couple of pages. We're starting to get to the juicy stuff now, but the mechanical speedo setups, what grease to use, how to treat the ceramic resistors and not overheat them and stuff like that. Don't jump off a cliff, you know, we've all done it. But then you get to this, and this is what the guidebooks are, for me, are renowned for, and that's from these pictures. That's why I always try to capture action shots from the videos I do, because these are absolutely superb. So we've got Falcon, 959, Hornet, Blackfoot, Monster Beetle, Bigfoot, Bigwig, Fox, Super Sabre. Look at that Super Sabre. That just looks so cool. Well, they all look cool. Look at that shot of that 959. If we can zoom in a little bit. Look at that shot. You would never do that with one, would you? That's smashed into the sand. That'll have cracked the front arches. Put a big rip underneath the polycarbonate. But you got the shot, and I guess that's the main thing. Right, now we're into the best bit of it. Now, the first bit is obviously the Tamtex, which I know zero about. Never had one. Don't even know what they are. But I love that Tamtec radio set. That just looks absolutely superb. And then we get on to the RC cars that we all know and love. And just how good. I mean, how iconic is the style that Tamiya did these pictures in? You know, again, people copy them today because they're just that good. Absolute superb. You always, in the description of the cars, you always got this little number, which are Hotshot 2, 62, which denotes that was Tamiya's 62nd RC car, or better known as 58062. But there we've got the Grasshopper 2, Hornet, Hotshot 2, and of course the Avanti. And I don't know about you guys, but I honestly don't know how many hours I've sat and stared at that picture. Absolutely technical, gleaming. Next page, so we've got top left a Saint Dragon, which seems to be a bit of a Marmite car. I love it. That's the second car from the Madcap, same chassis, different colour shocks, and obviously that comic style body shell. But yeah, I'm a lover of it. Next one down, the Fox, but Fox was a little bit different because it had the sealed chassis, so they cut into it. And they did that a lot with the seal chassis, so you could actually see what was inside, which is always a nice touch. Thunder Dragon. What I always found interesting about the Thunder Dragon was that the guidebook picture, they had the full canopy painted black. Even in the running pictures that Tamiya did, it was black, but obviously on the box, and because it came with the driver figure and everything. So it was almost like these were kind of early, almost prototype pictures that made to the guidebook. Next one down, the lunchbox. I'll give you a little interesting nerdy fact about this. That was actually painted. Now I'm probably going to get the number wrong, unless I can see. Oh, I've got the paint here. This yellow was actually a different yellow used from what the instructions told you to use. That's actually TS47, and it's a much deeper yellow than I might be wrong, but I've got a sneaky feeling that the original lunchbox and then the Riri were two slightly different yellows. I might have got that wrong, but I 100% know for a fact that was painted in TS47. And about a year and a half ago, when I did the lunchbox on here, I painted mine in TS47, and it's different and it looks way better. Check that video out if you're interested. Next up, we have the Striker. One of the ugly ducklings of the Tamiya range. Yeah, not much you can say about a Striker. You either love it or you don't. And then obviously down below we've got the 959 original in the Rothmans decals, just looking fantastic. Fire Dragon, what was that, the second or third, maybe fourth of the Thundershot family. Not my favourite, if I'm honest. Mud Blaster, that's a great truck. That's the third truck from Blackfoot number 1, Monster Beetle second, and then they did the Mud Blaster. I always thought that would have looked better in different box art, a different body shell colour, but again, that's just my opinion. Another nerdy fact for you, on the Terra Scorcher, the eagle-eyed of you will know that the decal on the top of a wing is completely different to how the car came. See if I can... It's about the best I can do with that. In fact, tell you what, I'll just go back, because it might be a bit grainy. So if you see the box art, the box art had a yellow, just Terra Scorcher going across it, whereas it's got this big red decal. Again, presume it was down to it being a prototype at the time, why it had that particular decal on. We've got the lovely Vanquish below. Again, not in this picture, but the Vanquish, the early pictures of the Vanquish came with a completely different wing decal on it, which a lot of people have replicated today, which is a nice touch. What else we got? Obviously, we've got the fantastic egress. I didn't mention it about in the Avanti one, but if you look at it, it's got the 01R Dynatech motor in, it's got a CPR unit in there, just superb. And then obviously the Astute at the bottom. Just what a car that is. And then moving on, we've got a couple of the Tamiya quick drive cars. Again, know absolutely zero about them. Never had one, never wanted one. But I believe they are quite collectible. But we've got a Super Sabre and Thunder Dragon. We've also got the Midnight Pumpkin down here. But thrown in the top corner is the stunning King Cab. Tamiya's 81st RC car. And... a King Cab was never on my radar. Certainly not back in the day. I don't even think I knew what it was. But when I started collecting again, or one of the times I've collected, I decided to get hold of one. And when you actually see one in the flesh with the balloon tyres, with the egress tread pattern tyres that they've got, and there's a load of tyre writing, you can get it on them as well, and they just look superb. Next page, top left, we've got the Dash 1 Emperor, but again, it's a QD. If you don't know that car, that was one of 3 body shells, standalone body shells that Tamiya did. I'm going to try and name them now. So we had the Dash 1 Emperor, Super Dragon, and the Winger. Well done, Glenn. Which, before the reproduction shells came out, were mega rare and went for crazy money. I've always wanted to do another Dash 1 Emperor, but not do it in box art. It's on the Thundershot chassis. Bear in mind you're looking at the QD version right now. But yeah, I do have plans to get to do one of them, because I think I can make it look better than the box art, because the box art's obviously comic style from the Japanese magazines back in the day. Anyway, below we've got the gorgeous Madcap, Super Sabre and Midnight Pumpkin. Super Sabre, I really want to see that from Tamiya again. I really do. If you don't know what Super Sabre is, it's on the black boomerang chassis. And just obviously they changed the colours from blue to red on the shocks and the plastics. And that gorgeous sort of futuristic body shell. But that's one car I personally really want to see again from Tamiya. Damn, what a pair of jaddies. Oh my giddy aunt. Wow, Falcon, Bigwig, Monster Beetle and Blackfoot. How cool is that? I'm looking at this behind the camera as you guys are, and I'm just like absolutely blown away. See the Falcon and the Bigwig with the tyre writing done again. Absolutely superb. And look at the old Tamiya branded batteries, NiCads for powering your radio gear. Absolutely superb. Oh yeah, I've just done a original Blackfoot, funny enough, and I was painting the grille because it's a bit of a mission, and I didn't know, but when I was looking at Google pictures of it, the bottom light is usually, or the pictures I looked at, is usually painted orange. But yeah, the actual 100% box art is not, so that's the way I did mine. Next up we have the Boomerang, needs no introduction. I ain't got a Boomerang, maybe I should. Maybe I need a Boomerang and a Super Sabre. And then below we've got the Bruiser. That's something that I know very little about, if I'm honest. Those style of trucks right from the beginning, from the Blazing Blazer and that kind of style, just, yeah, never had one, don't know much about them at all. It's not really something I really want, if I'm honest. Moving along, we've got the Celica GRB, obviously the second version from the 959, but very different. Obviously not just the wheels and body shell, but the layouts of where things go differed a lot from the 959. And then below we've got the Mighty Clodbuster, which, just look at that thing. What a beast that was when it came out. Then a couple of 112 pan cars. That Porsche is beautiful at the top. It really is a thing of beauty. Something I've never had and never seen one of those in real life. I know they reread them. I'm saying it's 112. I'm pretty certain it is. But very, very cool looking things with foam tyres on. And then, look at that. Top right, we have the Thundershot. That's... after the Avante, that is probably the picture that I looked at most out of all the Tamiya cars. As a lot of you guys know, this was my first ever brand new Tamiya car that I bought in unbuilt, that I built myself. So I've got a special place with me, that one. But yeah, I'll never forget when that came out. And then we've got a tank below. Again, know nothing about tanks. People have asked me to get them on the channel. Maybe I will if I can find one at the right price, but they're very expensive. And again, I don't know anything about them. Couple more tanks on the left, which I won't talk about because I know nothing about them. But then we get on to the gorgeous F1 cars that Tamiya do. That FW11B, I've had one of those. I'm pretty sure that's on the I think that's the 01 chassis. I think that's the very first one. Although this is 91, so it could have been on the 02 chassis. Again, not too sure. Never really a lover of Yellow Lotus, but the Williams is just... what a thing that is. And then that was it for the actual sort of car pictures, but then it goes back onto your details and the different things available. Just looking what we got. Madcap. Oh, these are hop-ups cars. Sorry, I paused them because I noticed the CVAs look yellow and obviously the Madcap didn't. These are hopped-up versions of the three chassis. Wow. So you've got your Madcap there with yellow CVAs on, it's got a CPI unit in there, still running a 540 though. Then you got a Vanquish down here with the O2H Dynatech motor, CPI unit, high cap shocks. Yeah, very, very cool. And then King Cab, again, high caps on. Yeah, that's cool. And that's the fantastic Tamiya AdSpec radio gear with the stopwatch in the actual wheel. and the stopwatch never worked. Very rare if you've got one that works. Probably if you got an ad spec transmitter and the actual stopwatch works, that's right up there with a new in-box Blazing Blazer. That's kind of how rare that is. CPI unit, that's a P100F, so that's the very first one they brought. If you don't know what CPI unit is, this was a built-in electronic speed controller receiver, and then you had your steering servo, so it was really space saving, so you get rid of one servo and your mechanical speed controller. That was, as I said, that was the 100F. That was the very first one they did. I should know the motor turns. That one would run the 01R Dynatech motor, which was 19 turn, and then they brought the 150F out, and that had the gold metal alloy heatsink on there, and that was brought out at the same time they brought out the Dynatech 02H motor, which is, I want to say 12 turn, but I think it might be a 13. I can't remember. I know they did a hop-up rotor for the 02H, which was a 10 turn. So yeah, I think it was a 13 turn. I might be wrong, that motor. So I've just moved on a couple more pictures, giving you the different layouts and sizes of the shocks. Those first 4 are CVAs, 4 different lengths, and then you've got the high caps underneath, which again there were 4 different lengths and obviously lots of different springs. Funny enough, the first one obviously is a mini high caps, which Tamiya have just redone for the hop up for the new 2020 Vanquish, which is cool. And then we've got Tamiya royalty in motors. Obviously the top one, the Techni Gold, and then the 01R and 02H. Does it say just looking at the winds, can't work it out. It doesn't actually say. That's a shame, but not to worry. Some universal joints. This was a section that always made me giggle. Basically telling you kind of not what not to do when you're doing it with driving your RC car. Don't smash into a big brick. Don't get bogged down in sand. Don't put your Hornet in a bucket of hot water. Drive it through shallow water, and telling you how to jump. Basically, if your power coming off there, if your power off, your car's going to nosedive. Keep your power on. Just really cool. But again, it's the artwork that makes it special. It's cartoon style, but you know, as a Tamiya lover, you know exactly what you're looking at. It's absolutely superb. Now, do you remember this? So what you're looking at there is, this here was Tamiya giving you instructions and dimensions to make this completely one-off custom shell. Now, I can report that I don't know anyone personally, but I do know that some guys have actually made this shell, which is mega cool. I wonder if that's something for the channel in the future. I don't know what you'd make it out of, or even indeed if I've got the skills to do it. But I mean, it's not the best looking car, I've got to be honest, but you know, to make it from Tamiya's plans and then it tells you how to put it together and what have you, that would be really cool. I'm guessing it's for the 112 scale sort of pancar chassis, and the only reason I say that is because that picture there, it's got the foams on, so I'm guessing it's a 112 scale body. But you could certainly I was just seeing if it said that. It's just saying that this is in half scale. So yeah, definitely 112 scale, but you could definitely scale it up to 1/10, and that'd be a hell of a thing to have if you could make that, paint it up and have that in your collection. That would be pretty epic. And then as we get to the end of it, these are other pages that I stared at for hours, days, if not months, to be honest, with the sort of spare parts and hop-ups and things like that. But you know, even the Tamiya mechanical speedo balloons are there. Chassis, motors, all the different tyres, options, pinions, everything's there. Again, next page, then with all the different body sets. Just absolutely superb. Screw sets, the titanium screws will be there, no doubt. Got the high cap sets. You know, that picture there, funny enough, with that front shock brace, that's for the Avanti and possibly Vanquish. When you went to high cap minis, you had to, certainly on the Avanti, you had to put that, I was going to say carbon, the original was FRP, funny enough, but when Tamiya reread that when the 2011 Avanti came out, they produced that shock tower in carbon, which was a great touch. And that's the back page. again going through some paints, paint pens, spray cans, all that good stuff, and then this pictures. I mean, how cool is that? Can you imagine if you're on one of those pictures? How cool would that be? Look at this guy supping back on his beer. You know, he's a young lad there with a hornet in front of him. What a claim to fame that would be, to be in the guidebooks. And again, just harping on about how cool these pictures are. You're looking at the old cars. Just superb to see what they were lining up. I mean, look what they had racing each other. Hornet. I can't make it out from behind camera. There's a Wild Willie, a Hornet. Definitely a Subaru brand. It looks like there's a Striker wedged in between. I mean, what a mix of cars for you to take out on a race. What fun that is. Right guys, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. These are strange little videos, but people really seem to enjoy them. When I first made the first one with a radio race car magazine, I thought, who's going to want to watch a video with me just flicking pages through? But yeah, they seem to be popular, and as I said, I did promise I'd get one of these videos out quite early. So yeah, I've got other plans to do similar videos like this with other publications I've got arriving. So yeah, if you like this kind of thing, stay tuned. So guys, once again, thanks so much for watching. It's massively appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, maybe consider smashing that, what do you call it? Notification bell for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy RCing.